about what I came here for, which was shocking to me, but I have to say not shocking, is that I understand, I recently learned that there was a pet, an animal, that was staying, an animal that was being housed at the animal shelter that was put to death. And I want to know how it could happen. How could somebody's personal pet be put to death by the animal shelter? And if you don't know anything about it, I hope if you're a representative from the animal shelter that they can tell me how that can happen. And you don't know a pet. It was someone's personal pet. It was an animal dog that was owned by someone, and it was in the shelter. They were aware that the animal was owned, and it was obviously mistakenly put to death, And I want to know what the procedures are and what your policies are in the animal shelter what policies are in place to justify any killing of any animal. I mean, what are the procedures prior to an animal being put to death, and were those procedures used in this case, and what went wrong?
See, the problem is that every aspect of the animal shelter is the subject of the litigation.
That's a bunch of bunk. I'm tired to hear that. You know what? I come here to hear something.
Let's show the problem.
No, you'll waste my time. Every time I come here, Mr. Ryan, it's a bunch of bunk.
The problem is that these proceedings are taped, and these proceedings are recorded, and these proceedings are now making their way into the case.
And would you rather that these proceedings be hooded and quiet? I don't understand. What would you want?
The point is that the litigants are here. The litigants, maybe the litigants don't ask the question, maybe the litigants have other people ask the question. What we're doing in this forum, what we have been doing in this forum, is trying the case. And therefore, we have been informed by outside counsel, since there's an upcoming trial, since everything that's said here winds up on the internet, there's a potential of poisoning the jury trial. And we have been told by outside counsel hearing this that we should answer everything in writing. It's not that we're not going to answer your question.
You answer
but we're going to answer everything in writing.
Excuse me, but that totally defeats the purpose to a public hearing. And I think the next step is you're going to come in here with a hood. And that's just unacceptable. This is a public forum. I happen not to know the people that are serving you.
And the bottom line is, we answer all the questions when there's no litigation. You're ignoring that distinction.
There's no distinction. You don't have, this is the United States of America. You're not being criminally charged. You're not being criminally charged with anything. I sent a letter to the Attorney General and to the Comptroller's office about what I consider to be the malfeasance based on the numbers in the animal shelter, $7 million as opposed to $2 million in Brookhaven to take care of the same number of animals. Yes, I was quite concerned when I read that. I was quite concerned when I looked at the paper. I didn't show up here screaming and carrying on about it. I wrote a letter to the Attorney General. I wrote a letter to the Comptroller. I received a letter back from the Comptroller saying, yes, we are looking into it. Would that mean because that's being looked into, that that's another reason? I've lived in town Hempstead for 50 years, and I think this is important. Do you think that this is another reason for you people to not answer a question? Because it's uncomfortable? It's uncomfortable, or it's litigation? It's not a criminal case, and this is America.